Does color blindness exist? The answer is yes. Well, it's a condition that affects some people where they're not able to see certain, light is perceived in waves and spectrums. So some individuals have problems with their eyes, and because of that, they're not able to see certain spectrum of colors, and so that is what leads to the condition of color blindness. Now, why did I remember that today? It's because of some personal adventures that I've had with my wife and now with my son in relation to how we perceive color. When I first met my wife about 10 years ago, at the time she was convinced that her favorite color was purple. Now sometimes she would show me something, a purple dress or maybe a purple bag, and I would say no, that's not purple, that is blue. And that used to be a long-standing argument for a very long time. But anyway, that phase has passed now. But it came up again recently because my son is now at that age where he's always going around identifying shapes and colors and things like that. And I got him a new bathing sponge recently. And so one day we were doing the usual countdown: bucket, water, bowl, and then he said purple sponge. Now I was about to correct him and say no, blue sponge. And then I remembered the long-standing argument or joke that I've been having with my wife over the color of blue and purple, and so I just let it be. So it just dawned on me that perhaps I am the one who has an issue, and I'm not able to perceive the colors purple correctly, and sometimes I see it as blue. Now, in fact, this is not such a far-fetched thing for people in my own profession, because a couple of months ago I discovered another photographer in the UK who is colorblind, and he didn't know that he suffered from a form of color blindness until he became a professional photographer. Now, the reason why he knew that was because he would take photos, and in you take the photos, that's one step, and then the next step is post-production, where you sit behind in the computer or your dark room and then you start fiddling with the photo. So in post-production, he would do something to the photo and he would think this picture is solid, deliver it to the client, and then the clients would start complaining about certain colors in it. And so after a while he saw an ophthalmologist, I think that's what they're called, eye doctors, and that's when he realized that he had this problem. So he was editing the photos based on what he could see in his own eyes, but it didn't jibe with what everybody else could see as well. Anyway, so from little research that I've done, it doesn't look like it's that much of a it's not that much of a problem, or not that much of a disability. So I'm not saying that I'm definitely colorblind, but I'm making this video just so you guys will know that color blindness is a thing, and it's possible that it could be afflicting you or someone else known to you. But at the very worst, I guess it just leads to interesting conversations like this with your family members over which color is. So in the meantime, I've decided I'm going to stop arguing with people in my family over whether something is blue or purple. I'll just assume that I either don't see the colors correctly, or perhaps when I was much younger, someone taught me wrongly that the color purple was actually the color blue, even though it should be the other way around. So that's my little story for today on my adventures in fatherhood.